What if healing wasn't about becoming someone new, but remembering the person you were before the pain, before the heartbreak, before the silence, before the world told you who you had to be? What if your healing began the moment you stopped running and started listening? Introduction. There comes a time when you stop asking, when will things go back to normal? And instead whisper, maybe normal was never meant for me. That moment, quiet, uncertain, and raw, is the true beginning of healing. And when you're ready, this is how you heal. Brianna Wiest offers a lantern for the soul that's been wandering too long in the dark. Her words are poetry with purpose, written for the version of you that still flinches at your own memories. Through gentle essays and tender truths, she reminds us that healing is not an achievement. It's a return to presence, to peace, to yourself. You don't have to rush. You don't have to be perfect. You only have to be willing. This is a book for anyone who has ever said, "I'm fine," when they meant, "I'm still breaking." It's not about pretending the past never happened, but learning how to let it shape you without defining you. So take a breath. Let's walk through these chapters together, slowly, intentionally, as if we're tracing the outline of a life coming back to color. Chapter 1. Healing begins with acceptance. Imagine standing in front of a mirror that's been cracked by time. For years, you've been trying to glue the pieces back together, hoping to see your old reflection again. But healing isn't restoration. It's recognition. Brianna Wiest begins by teaching that acceptance is not surrendering to pain. It's finally seeing it for what it is. We spend so much energy resisting our reality, replaying conversations, rewriting endings, bargaining with what-ifs. But the more we resist, the more our pain stays alive, begging to be witnessed. Acceptance is the moment you say, "This happened. I didn't want it, but I will no longer let it rule me." It's when you stop negotiating with the past and start nurturing the present. You don't heal by pretending you're unbroken. You heal by honoring every fracture that taught you something about strength. Takeaway. Healing doesn't begin when the hurt is gone. It begins when you stop hiding from it. Chapter 2. The Language of Pain. Pain has a way of speaking when you refuse to listen. It hides in your routines, your tone, your endless need to prove yourself. It becomes perfectionism, overthinking, or the inability to trust. Brianna reminds us that pain is not the enemy. It is a messenger, a signal that something within you longs to be seen. Instead of numbing it with distractions or denial, she invites you to translate it. Ask, what is my pain trying to tell me? Maybe it's asking you to slow down. Maybe it's reminding you that you deserve better. Maybe it's simply saying, "Feel me so I can finally leave." When we listen, we realize pain has always been our teacher. And every teacher leaves when a lesson is learned. Takeaway. Pain isn't here to destroy you. It's here to deliver you back to awareness. Chapter 3. You can't heal in the same place you got hurt. Some wounds thrive in repetition. You revisit the same arguments, the same patterns, the same people, hoping this time will be different. But healing cannot bloom in contaminated soil. Brianna writes that to move forward, you must sometimes leave the places and people that shaped your pain, not out of hatred, but out of honor for your growth. You can't expect sunlight to reach you if you keep hiding in yesterday's shadow. Stepping away is not running, it's reclaiming. The moment you choose distance, you choose oxygen. This is the part of healing that feels like loneliness, but it's really clarity. Because when you walk away from what broke you, you finally make space for what can build you. Takeaway. You don't need to keep revisiting your wounds to prove you're healing. Sometimes, leaving is the loudest "I love myself" you'll ever say. Chapter 4. Forgive and set yourself free. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. People think it's about erasing the pain or pretending the betrayal didn't matter. But forgiveness is not a gift to the one who hurt you. It's the release you give yourself. Brianna explains that carrying resentment is like clutching a burning coal, waiting for the other person to feel the heat. All it does is burn your hands. To forgive doesn't mean to invite the past back. It means you no longer let it rent space in your heart. It means choosing peace over proof, wholeness over vindication. And sometimes, the hardest forgiveness is toward yourself, for the times you stayed, the times you didn't speak, the times you didn't know better. But now you do, and that awareness is the beginning of liberation. Takeaway: forgiveness isn't forgetting what happened. It's remembering who you are beyond what happened. Chapter 5: Becoming Whole Again. Healing isn't about becoming flawless. It's about gathering every broken piece of yourself and realizing they still form a complete picture. Brianna paints the process as cyclical. You'll think you've healed, only to stumble again. You'll wonder why the sadness returns, why certain songs still sting. But that's not regression, it's refinement. Each time you revisit your pain, you do so with a softer heart and a stronger spirit. Wholeness doesn't mean you'll never feel hurt again. It means you'll know what to do with it when it comes. You'll stop searching for someone to save you and instead become the sanctuary you've always needed. You are not the version of yourself who broke. You are the version who decided to rebuild. Takeaway: wholeness is not about perfection. It's about embracing your cracks as proof of your courage. Chapter 6: The Practice of Self-Love. Self-love isn't loud. It's quiet decisions made every day in your own favor. It's going to bed instead of arguing online. It's leaving unread messages that disturb your peace. It's saying no without guilt, yes without fear, and goodbye without collapse. Brianna teaches that real self-love is not indulgence, it's discipline. It's holding yourself accountable to your future, even when the present feels heavy. It's feeding yourself words of kindness instead of criticism. We are so used to chasing love that we forget to cultivate it from within. But when you finally begin treating yourself like someone worth protecting, the world starts mirroring that truth back to you. Self-love is not arrogance. It's awareness. The awareness that your well-being is sacred, your time is valuable, and your heart is home. Takeaway: loving yourself is not selfish. It's the foundation of every kind of healing that lasts. Chapter 7: Surrender the Illusion of Control. Healing often begins where control ends. For so long, you've tried to hold every thread of life together, forcing outcomes, timing, and meaning. But Brianna reminds us, the need to control everything is a symptom of fear, not strength. Surrender doesn't mean giving up. It means giving in to trust. It's whispering, I may not know how this ends, but I trust that it's unfolding for me. Control may keep you safe, but surrender sets you free. When you release your grip, life begins to surprise you again. You start noticing the synchronicities, the right people, the right moments, the gentle nudges that were waiting for space to appear. Sometimes, what's falling apart is only clearing the path for what's meant to arrive. Takeaway: surrender is not a loss of power. It's the highest expression of faith in life's design. Chapter 8: The Return of Joy. After heartbreak, joy feels fragile, like holding a butterfly in trembling hands. You fear it will fly away the moment you let yourself feel it. Brianna writes that joy is the body's way of saying, I survived. It's not a denial of pain. It's the natural rhythm of renewal. She encourages us to let small joys lead the way. Sunlight through curtains, laughter with a friend, a song that reminds you of who you were before the storm. Joy doesn't erase sorrow, it balances it. Healing is not about reaching a state where nothing hurts. It's about remembering that even in pain, beauty can still exist. Every smile after suffering is proof that life is not finished with you yet. Takeaway: joy is not the reward of healing. It's part of the medicine. Chapter 9: letting go of who you used to be. There's grief and growth. You'll wake up one day and realize the things that once defined you no longer fit. The friendships, the habits, the stories you told yourself, all quietly dissolving. Brianna says this is not loss, but expansion. You are shedding the skin of your former self to make room for the one you're becoming. We often hold on to the old self because she feels familiar, but healing means releasing even the comfort of familiarity when it limits your evolution. You are allowed to outgrow versions of yourself that survived survival. The person who carried you through pain was necessary, but she was never meant to be permanent. Takeaway: to become your truest self, you must first be brave enough to let the old one go. Chapter 10. You deserve a life that feels good. We spend years building lives that look impressive but feel empty. Brianna reminds us that healing invites authenticity, a life that feels like peace, not just appears successful. Ask yourself, does this job nourish me, or only my ego? Does this relationship expand me, or drain me? Does my daily routine align with the person I'm becoming, or the one I'm afraid to lose? When you begin living in alignment, even simple moments become sacred. A morning walk feels like a prayer. A cup of tea becomes a reminder that presence is enough. Healing is the art of choosing what feels honest, not what looks perfect. Takeaway: a healed life isn't built for applause, it's built for peace. Chapter 11. The integration of healing. There's a point where healing stops being something you do and becomes who you are. Brianna calls this integration, the quiet phase where lessons turn into lifestyle. You no longer analyze every emotion. You trust its message. You no longer chase closure. You carry clarity. You no longer see the past as a cage, but as context. Integration doesn't feel dramatic. It's the moment you realize you're no longer reacting to triggers that once consumed you. It's walking through familiar chaos and feeling calm. That's the proof of healing. Not that the storm ended, but that you learned how to stand still in the rain. Takeaway: healing is complete not when life is painless, but when peace becomes your default response. Chapter 12. Healing never ends, it deepens. Brianna closes with a truth both humbling and hopeful. Healing isn't a final destination. It's an ever-deepening journey. There will be days when you'll feel like you're starting over. You'll find new wounds in old places and old memories in new light. But this time, you'll meet them with gentleness instead of judgment. Healing will circle back again and again, not to punish you, but to invite you deeper into wholeness. Each cycle brings more compassion, more wisdom, more softness toward yourself. You will learn that healing isn't about becoming untouchable. It's about becoming unafraid. Because when you trust your ability to rebuild, nothing can truly destroy you. Takeaway: healing doesn't end. It expands, carrying you closer to the peace you were born to remember. Conclusion: healing is not a single act. It's a lifelong relationship with yourself. It's waking each morning and choosing gentleness over judgment, patience over panic, hope over habit. And when you're ready, this is how you heal. Brianna Wiest reminds us that every wound is an invitation to come home, to the heart, to the present, to the truth that you are still whole, even when broken. You're not behind. You're not late. You're simply becoming. And when you're ready, not when you're perfect, not when you're fearless, but when you're simply willing, this is how you heal. By trusting the light will meet you halfway, by believing you are worth the effort, and by never forgetting that even the most painful endings were only doorways to your becoming. Final reflection: you are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to create from it. That's the end of When You're Ready. This is How You Heal by Brianna Wiest. If this story spoke to your heart, explore the full book for deeper reflection and self-growth. Subscribe to AudioBookCAPS for more guided journeys into the books that help you evolve, rise, and remember your strength. And always remember, healing doesn't wait for permission. It begins the moment you whisper, "I'm ready."